Hey everyone, this is Eric from Push Along Videos. Now in this very special series, I'll be looking at some of the games that I played at PAX Unplugged 2017. Now recently I was at PAX Unplugged 2017 to take a look at what it's like. I've been to other PAX events and I always notice that there's a board gaming area there, but this time this is an entire convention dedicated to mostly board games. There were some video games there as well, but mostly board games. So I had a chance to go there, take a look at what it's like, and also play some games. So in this very special series, I'll be talking about some of the games that I've played at PAX Unplugged and general first impressions of the games. So this is not a full review per se, but it should give you a pretty good idea of what the games are like as I played them and give you my impressions as well. So let's take a look at the games that I've played. Now I just want to take a moment here to thank my sponsors. Alright, Fun Again Games. Push Your Luck Video is an affiliate of Fun Again Games. So if you go to funagaingames.com and when you check out after you buy any games there, if you put my code PULV, that's Papa Umbrella Lima Virgo. All right, in the affiliate code section, a little bit of kickback comes back to me as well. So thank you very much if you do that. And also, I'd like to thank Tasty Minstrel Games for sponsorship. Tasty Minstrel now has a podcast and is run by my very good friend Lance, the Undead Viking. So if you want to take a listen to what Tasty Minstrel has to say about the board game industry, about the games they're releasing, do check out their podcast as well. So this is a first impression of Calimala. So Calimala is by designer Fabio Lopiano, publisher ADC Blackfire Entertainment. This is a 3 to 5 player game. Takes about 45 to 75 minutes to play. Now players are basically fighting for majority. All right, in different areas on the board. Alright, they're trying to fight for majority by placing their cubes, which are actually goods. They represent different goods depending on where you move them from on your player board. Alright, onto the main game board itself. The interesting, so whoever has majority when scoring occurs, they'll get points, and whoever has the most points at the end of the game will win. So two interesting parts about the game is that the action spots where you place your discs to activate actions, that's interesting. It's randomly determined at the beginning of the game, except for center spot, which is always the same. Now, when you place your disc on to activate actions, you're activating 2 actions, and you can decide which order you want to activate them in. The interesting part is if another player places a disc on top of yours, they get to do action, and you also will get to do action. Unless when you place the disc on top of that stack, alright, it makes the stack 4 discs tall, which will then trigger a scoring. Why? That means the last disc, the top 3 players will get to activate action. The last disc will not get to activate action, but this will be moved to the council, alright, which will then be placed on top of the next empty council tile, alright, which is also randomly determined as part of the game, alright, and then you activate that scoring. So there's a few different types of scoring for the council tile. Most of them are majority. So whoever has a majority of cubes in London or in Bruges, alright, then will score points. And points are usually 3, 2, 1. Whoever has the most will score 3 points. Second most score 2 points and 1 point. So the actions are interesting because that's where that's where you'll be able to get you ship your cubes. Alright, you either getting resources, alright, marble, wood, or cloth, and then if you have the cart action, you can actually ship your goods to one of the land-based locations, but only if you have a trading house built already there. If you have the shipping action, then you can ship cloth to those sea areas, but only if you have at least one ship available. Alright, so yeah, I had fun with it. But I'm not too sure how I feel about the randomness of how the action tiles are placed, because I suspect that there would be a case where depending on how the action tiles are randomly placed around the square, alright, there will be an optimum strategy. Like this is the best to go for it because it will score you a lot of points. is the most optimum way to activate the both actions. I'm also not too sure about how the council tiles are randomly determined, right? Because it will mean that there are certain parts, certain type of scoring, or certain rounds where the council tiles are activated, there'll be no scoring at all, which is the case I have when I played the game. Because you can also rush and finish the game pretty fast, because if you just stack your own, you can ignore our players, you can stack your own, because you usually have about 4 discs. You have a couple of discs, so if you stack it yourself and you place and you activate all the scorings before any players can get any of their cubes on the board, then you could speed the game along pretty fast. Of course, there's a limited number of discs that you have, and so you'll probably run out after a while. But for us, it does feel that near the end of the game, we do have still a small number of discs left in our area. There's also the white disc, which you can place. Each of us will have 2 of this white disc. When you place it on the action spaces, you get to activate action twice. But when it comes down, when someone places on top of the white disc, no one gets to activate. The white disc doesn't belong to anyone, so you cannot activate it again. So I would say that it's interesting. I definitely want to try it again. But first impressions, my initial play of it, when I first started playing it, I was like, oh, I'm not too sure about it. Near the end, it got pretty interesting. But the scoring can swing really wildly at times, depending on how the scoring tiles are placed on the board. So I would say right now it's a try. First impressions, try before you buy. Alright, thank you so much for watching.